I guess that Lord Selkirk, um, it was back in the early 1800s when he decided he was going to buy land in Rupert's Land. And would you believe he bought about 16,800 square miles of land in Rupert's Land from the Hudson Bay Company for 10 shillings, which was in present day money about 50 cents.
What?
Back in the 1800s.
That was pretty amazing. But then he decided he was going to have to, he needed people to live on the land, so he tried to persuade Scots, who had, a lot of Scots had been losing their properties at that time, and he decided this was an opportunity to get the Scots to emigrate to the Northwest Territories. So he was a bit of a con man, unfortunately, and he promised them everything, promised them the moon, and never ever did deliver. He brought some settlers over. One young guy was just 16 at the time, and his name was Donald Gunn, who of course just about everybody in the room is descended from.
Well, not Dan and not Vince, and not Carter.
We're
Carter
descended,
could be if we
We're
didn't
descended
Carter
from-
like that. Don't say that.
we're descended from royalty.
Anyway,
Charlesworth's worked for the Lloyds, I think.
so Donald Gunn arrived, took a job at the Hudson Bay Company, and a couple of years later, he married Margaret Swain, who, as everybody knows, I think, was an indigenous daughter of, I think his name was John Swain, who was a corporate director of the Hudson Bay Company. Anyway, they got married, and from then on, I guess that Donald Gunn started to make quite a name for himself. He was, now let me think, he ran the church mission school. He became a magistrate, justice of the peace. He was in the legislative assembly, and then later on he was in the first provincial government. So, as a matter of fact, there was him that I did not realize, but he was also a member of the, no, what the name of the society? But he was one of the best known meteorologists in the country. He knew more about the weather than just about anybody. And he also had a huge collection of shells, of eggs, and furs, and goodness knows what. He was into everything, but apparently a very nice man. What many people don't know, however, is that he wrote one of the most famous books ever in Canada. He wrote a book, The History of Manitoba, and in it he covers all the problems that the settlers and the Métis were experiencing. He gets into everything. It's a fascinating book, and it just so happens that I've got the only copy in existence.
My goodness.
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
Yeah, here we go.
All right. Wow.
This is it.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Wow.
And
So,
it was published after he died. I think it was about 1880 that this was published. But this has got the entire story, the whole shebang. And I guess that I came to the conclusion that that this should really go to somebody who is a descendant of Donald Gunn. So I decided that it would be most appropriate if I gave it to a Métis princess.
Oh, thank you, Alan.
And there you go, Mike.
Oh, thank you.
That's very cool.
You know what? Carter, your grandpa would sure love to read this book.
So go, Carter.
He definitely would.
so Taylor
He's
and
probably
Ryland
in it.
and Megan, Donald Gunn, would have been their great
Grandfather.
grandfather?
Yes.
Like your third
But
great
yeah, nice guy.
grandfather, I think.
Yeah.
That's
Ryland was
Isn't that
the
crazy?
Métis princess.
Nana is.
Nana, let's see the book.
I thought it was too.
Megan would lose it. She don't know how to read.
You know
Let's-
what? I thought it was
can-
going to you.
Oh,
Can I see it, Mom?
you guys. Oh, and there's a prescription. What does this say?
Yes,
in
it
there.
Prescription.
says,
Yeah, take it to
Not a
Safeway.
prescription, I know.
this was rather strange too. Presented to Mr. Andrew Shaw by his nephew, R.A. Shaw, as my small token of his kindest love, 11th of November 1881, Winnipeg. And I checked up on who Andrew Shaw was, and Andrew Shaw himself was a weaver, but I've got an idea that one of his descendants is Andrew Shaw, the most famous baritone in opera in Britain.
Holy smokes.
And he's still
We
alive.
trumped the
and
Charlesworth.
he's still alive, and I'm trying to reach him.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh.
So that's it.
And he wants to see if he can also reach that family, right? If
Yes.
there's
Yeah, he-
anybody,
he's just-
yeah.
Yes. So there we go.
Interesting.
Very cool.
Can I see
And
that
this
book?
book,
Don't pass it down to Taylor, please.
Mom, can I
no,
see
I
it?
won't, she'll break it.